LUNCE'S LIST, oh, LUNCE'S LIST 5, LUNCE'S LIST 5, LUNCE'S LIST 5, LUNCE'S LIST 5.
All right, everybody has heard the category today. John, which 5 free-to-play video games do you most highly recommend? How did you approach this list?
So I came with a long list. This is one of those I can easily go, just get like 20 of them out there. But I decided to basically say each one of the 5 is a category. So if a category gets killed, just know that's the one I think is probably the best within that certain category. I'll throw some honorable mentions with the various categories as well. Also, let me preface this by saying, although these are free-to-play games and you can enjoy without paying anything, I have, honest to God, probably spent among these 5 games over $10,000 in my lifetime. So that's how they get you is the what are they called? Microtransactions.
Tyler about fell over.
Hang on. We need to just go ahead and clarify. Is this cosmetics or is this microtransactions, like resources that help you advance?
All the above.
All the above, okay.
John, this is not a LUNCE'S list. This is an intervention. You've got to stop doing this. Put the credit card away.
You got to stop playing free games, buddy.
These free games are killing you, man. Okay.
Number 5 on the list. Hey, let's go.
Well, if you want a crippling addiction like John, listen to number 5 on the list. What's playing? Hold on. What's playing right now? We got the LUNCE'S list thing playing again. It's up on the screen right now.
Oh, God.
I know. What did you do?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
That's not a good game.
That's John being a narcissist is what that is. He just wanted to see his.
On my mouse. I'm so sorry.
I just don't want people blinded. They're missing this lovely thing right here. Okay.
He's doing number 5.
5 free-to-play video games. Can we get the shot on the list here, Tyler? Is that possible? No, you're good.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you weren't kidding about microtransactions.
Is that the one that Charlize Theron plays?
What is this, Tyler? Do you know?
Clash Royale. I assume this is
it wasn't this. It was something different.
Yeah.
I assume this is the newest version of Clash of Clans.
So it's a spinoff of Clash of Clans. It's been around for a while. I'm not a Clash of Clans guy. I could never get into it, but Clash Royale is like a two-person fight. One person has like a base, and they send monsters out at you, and you have a base, and you send monsters out at them, and you try to destroy the other person's base.
I'm out.
It's like a 3-minute game. It's pretty quick. I spent way more money on this than I would like to admit. But you can still play for free and enjoy decent enough. However, you do have to spend that money if you really want to get to like the highest levels. But you can get a lot of enjoyment as a free-to-play game. Candy Crush was a close second. I never got super into Candy Crush, but I know a lot of people did. It's ultimately a free-to-play game.
Everyone and their grandmother got into Candy Crush.
Correct. I'd say it's probably the biggest if I had to guess because it's age-appropriate across the board that little kids can play it, older people can play it, whatever. But Clash Royale is a very good game. They just made a Warcraft version of it as well, so that's gotten me back into playing it. But, yeah, that wins my mobile best game.
Is there any worse feeling than having to wait for more lives to come back to your journey, like in something like Candy Crush, or you have to beg your friends for lives to send you lives?
There was a cheat,
or just pay for it.
Right, you can like manipulate the clock on your system, right?
But then your clock's gonna be set like that forever. And what year? I'm in 2028 on Candy Crush, so I can't just to get rehash 5 lives.
Oh my gosh. Okay, number 5, Clash Royale. Let's go ahead and go to number 4 on LUNCE'S list. We're looking for some of your favorite free-to-play games. They're initially free-to-play, but in the end, it sounds like they cost you a whole lot.
E-Bombs World. Helicopter game with the mouse.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, Genshin Impact. This is a solid one.
Samuel says, remember when people's Facebook timelines were just covered in these mobile game updates? That was all before we knew about what was being done to us.
I need tomatoes for my garden.
Number 4, Genshin Impact.
Until you said this one, John, I was very shocked at what you were spending the money on. Now I know.
No, this is one of the probably lower ones I spent money on. Genshin Impact is, you've seen The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that look of how that game looks. This is that basically in a free-to-play form. It's a gacha game, which basically means you have to pay a bunch of money to ultimately unlock the coolest weapons and characters and stuff like that. However, I did play this for a long time without spending anything. Hit a wall after probably a month of playing it nonstop during COVID, and then thought, what's just a little bit, just to continue to advance the story a little bit. But it plays very much like Zelda. I really did like it. I was also super in a game called Lost Ark, which was a Korean MMO that I played. It's also a gacha game to where you hit a certain – It's a really good free game, but you hit a certain hard wall at a point that you just kind of, if you want to keep playing, you got to spend money. And that's the kind of game that both of those are.
So far, Rockstar, do either of these two games intrigue you?
First time I've heard either two. No. I was talking with Tim earlier about Genshin Impact. He has some good opinions.
It's kind of an anime look. I mean, it has very much is like
back.
Breath of the Wild, how that game played as far as like the overall gameplay between Breath of the Wild and Genshin is almost identical. But the difference with this one is you have like 4 people instead of 1. You rotate between them that all have different like powers and abilities and stuff. But where you spend the money is trying to unlock more characters so that then you can play with more different kinds of abilities and all that.
Remind me again what's in parentheses there.
Gotcha.
That's the category of kind of what I'm doing.
Gotcha. Okay,
Gotchas. It's Japanese, right?
Gotcha.
You like roll or pull like a drawing machine for
It's like a
for
slot
your
machine.
character. Yeah, like a slot machine for your character, your weapon. And it's worth mentioning that the Japanese government has cracked down on gacha games because they're not particularly fond of showing you the odds of winning.
And I'm not the only one that spent way more money than they wanted to just to get that one little piece that you really
There
want.
are people who are bankrupt now because of
Yes.
gacha games.
They literally
I'm
got
not,
him.
bankrupt.
John.
I'm not bankrupt yet.
What are we promoting here?
I'm not
This is
bankrupt yet.
terrifying.
Going bankrupt for PNGs of anime girls.
Hey, let me preface this by saying there are no free-to-play games. I will just leave it at that.
I call it life.
This is why nobody was able to see Love Lies Bleeding. They spent all their money on this gotcha stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's go to number 3 on Lunce's list. Which, by the way, I want to ask the chat. Which one of these 3 movies should I see today? Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Immaculate, or Love Lies Bleeding? Which one of those 3 should I watch? That's the question.
God.
And whatever the chat comes up with, that's what I will
I
do.
think the women's tournament's tonight, too. You can watch that.
Watch that? Okay.
I think
We got poker tonight.
Caitlin Clark's playing tonight. You can watch her.
Sure, yeah.
Number 3, Rocket League. This is a game, John, that we play often, and we are either really hot or really cold during it.
Soccer and cars, boy, how stupid does that sound? But it's very good. It's very well done. A very it's just a very well done game. The best thing I like about it is Tim and I, within a span of like 2 hours playing at night, could play 20 games of it. It's 5 minutes a piece, super fast. That's what I like about Clash Royale too. It's kind of like quick, pull out your phone, play a couple games kind of thing. Rocket League's the same way. I even like the 2D version on your phone too that you can play. I don't remember what exactly it's called. Rocket League something.
I had a friend playing that on the plane when we went to Tampa for the Royal Rumble, and it was really interesting, the design of that game. I didn't think Rocket League in 2D could work, and it sure looked fun to me.
Yeah, it's the physics of it are fun. How it operates is fun. Once again, you can spend all kind of money on designs and stuff like that, but there's nothing that affects your actual gameplay that you have to spend money on.
Yeah, this is the first one you've listed so far that I feel like you could truly be free to play the entire way and not have to worry about spending a cent other than to have online connection.
Yeah.
Tyler, I need you to look up something for me, please, while John goes to number 2 on the list. Are there any showtimes for Love Lies Bleeding around town? I need to know that because it's starting to pick up a little bit of steam here in the chat. So far, Ghostbusters in the lead, but everything is still in contention. Do I see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Do I see Immaculate? Or do I see Love Lies Bleeding? That's what I need to know. But I don't even know if there's a Love Lies Bleeding showing around because the movie...
You got 2 choices. You got Patton Creek at 10:30 tonight.
That's not going to work.
And then the Summit at 10 tonight.
That's not going to work. So Love Lies
All right.
Bleeding is out. It's between Ghostbusters and Immaculate.
I knew you'd have a MOBA game.
Number 2.
Oh,
LOL.
yeah. League of
I feel
Legends.
like every time you put something on the board, Tyler's like, he just it's like, I feel you, man. I feel you.
League of Legends is probably the game I'm playing the most currently, but it's not League of Legends. It's actually Teamfight Tactics, which is their auto chess game within within League of Legends. Dota is the other one that you could put here. Obviously, I've always been more of a League of Legends guy as opposed to a Dota guy. I think League of Legends has the best pro league. I think they have the best world championships, although the international for Dota is the single biggest event every year in esports. The look that Rocky's giving me right now.
It's like a foreign language, really.
The international has a giant prize pool. It is really, really big, but League of Legends, I think, is overall the better game, personally.
So, Rockstar,
They're
repeat
both
all
free to
that.
play.
I don't know
Repeat
if
all that to me.
I don't even know if he's trying to sell it to me. I just don't hear anything.
I don't either.
he shouldn't try to sell it to you.
A MOBA,
Break it down for us idiots, please.
so a multiplayer online battle arena, which is MOBA.
Oh, MOBA.
It's a 5-on-5 game that basically you have 3 lanes from base to base, and you have to try to get past towers that are trying to take you down. You have to destroy the towers and get to their base and take their base down. Whoever does that first wins. You pick 5 roles. It's kind of like in basketball. There's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in basketball. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this, that you pick your role. Some are support, some are tanks, some are attack damage, some are, more magic ability power, and you choose your characters and you try to build the best team to ultimately take the other base down.
John, I'm beginning to think you're a giant nerd. I'm starting to think that here, but
just a little bit
on the cusp of it. Okay.
Anyway.
Before we get to number 1, do you want to do your honorable mentions here, or what do you think would be better? Because you know the list and I don't.
Honorable mentions. I'll just do number 1.
Okay. While John does that, I want to tell you about our friend, Realtor Jim Wilson with Location Real Estate. When looking for that new place to call home, remember our friend with Location Real Estate, Jim Wilson. Jim is still an active member of the U.S. military and is, simply put, a good guy who doesn't take shortcuts when it comes to home buying. He's able to help you secure the American dream of finding your perfect home. Jim cares deeply about making sure you're given all the information needed. Transparency is important to him during the biggest purchase of your life. Jim's only happy when you're completely happy. Each of Jim Wilson's clients has his full energy when looking to accomplish their real estate goals, not only during the home buying or selling experience, but every day after. He's an advocate for you and your interests, not some random corporation. Whether you're buying or selling, contact our friend, Realtor Jim Wilson with Location Real Estate at 205-329-4758. It's 329-4758, or visit jimwilson.locationre.com. We appreciate Jim and his support of the Meltdown. Number 1 on Lunce's list, Fortnite.
Easy choice. Fortnite. I know a lot of people when it comes to shooters would go more Warzone or Apex Legends or PUBG, but
PUBG.
I currently, which stands for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I personally am a Fortnite person. They have by far, you mentioned Roblox and the promotional stuff they have. Fortnite has by far the best deals. They have deals with Disney. I have every Marvel character, every Star Wars character. I love playing as Demogorgon from Stranger Things. I have so many characters. I can play as Peter from Family Guy. They literally have everything in that. It's just a fun game.
Did you buy the Michael Myers one?
I probably did, but I honestly don't remember.
I bet you didn't.
Is he doing Wayne, or is he going to be like Fat Bastard?
Did you get the big chicken from Family Guy?
Yes, I have the chicken from Family Guy. Yes. So it's the best overall game. I like the cartoony feel of that as opposed to more realistic, like what Call of Duty is, what PUBG is. Apex is a little more out there too, but especially since they've added a no build mode, that's the biggest thing that turns people like you off from Fortnite, is all the building.
Hate the building.
I haven't played with building
I'm with you,
in
Tim.
a long time. There's a no build mode, and it has all the same exact things. And actually, I feel like more people like the no build mode now compared to the building. Honorable mentions I had for shooters, Halo Infinite. Multiplayer is free, but campaign is not. I feel like that doesn't qualify because part of the best thing of Halo is playing co-op with your friends and stuff, and you can't do that for free. Warframe, I really want to get into Warframe. I just cannot do it for some reason, but it looks really fun. Path of Exile, I like Diablo better, but Diablo you got to pay for. Final Fantasy 14, Destiny 2, there's some MMOs, but a lot of those you have to...
You're on 16 now, Rocky.
Yeah.
It's the Final Fantasy. My God.
That's good.
But Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO Final Fantasy that's free, but you have to pay for the expansion. Same with Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is free, but you got to pay for the expansion, so I didn't include those. Hearthstone, I'm desperate to get into like a really good trading card game, collectible card game, whatever you want to call it, but while it's free to play, you have to pay tons to actually get the cards you want. Hearthstone's that way, Magic's that way, Pokemon's that way, everything is that way. And then Fall Guys was probably the one right on the outside looking in. I like Fall Guys. I think it would be fun, like if the 4 of us all got together and played it. But I feel like it's more of like a couch co-op game that you can't play couch co-op on. But it's kind of goofy. It's a fun kind of battle royale style game. But Richard says Fortnite's hardly free to play. You technically don't spend a penny in Fortnite. It is strictly cosmetics and everything that they do. However, the cosmetics are so cool, you want to spend a lot of money on it. And it's probably my most purchased thing as far as purchasing V-Bucks. However, they actually had a class action lawsuit like a year ago, and I got a ton of that back. But I have since spent all of that too.
John, it looks like you need to recoup some of your funds to be able to buy some new skins and buy some new attributes in these games. Where's the best place that you can get a couple of those bucks coming back your way with our title sponsor.
You can do it at mybookie.ag, which I did this past weekend. Was up a couple $100 there because, hey, they offer these.
Subtle flex there, my
They
friend.
offer these bet boosters, and now you go in and play them, and it sets certain parlays for you that then they boost the odds on. Hit me a couple of those. So all thanks to mybookie.ag, telling me things in the NBA and tennis and soccer I didn't even know existed. That looks cool. Why not? I'll do that and end up hitting it. Meanwhile, I bet every single money line underdog, which crushed it in the first round. Literally only won one in the 16 games of the second round. So not doing so hot there. So it ended up being kind of a wash. However, go to mybookie.ag, use promo code next round on the first deposit, and you too can get that bonus from us and our friends at MyBookie. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at mybookie.ag.
All right, it looks like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire won the vote
Yeah,
from our fans of what I need to see today.
Enjoy the nap.
So I'm going to try to catch a showing of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
You shouldn't have a problem.
Do you feel like, there's a million of them, do you feel like that I'm going to go in with being handicapped in this because I have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife? John, do you feel like that's going to hurt me?
Just from enjoying the movie, no. From actually understanding every little aspect of it, yes.
Okay.
I feel like ultimately it's much, much better if you were to have seen the first movie.
Well, we'll see. I'll be the judge of that, and I'll give you my review tomorrow, but that's what I'm going to go with. The people have spoken, and I'm going to live up to that commitment. All right, there you go. There's your list. Lunce's list of the 5 best free-to-play games. Number 5, Clash Royale. Number 4, Genshin Impact. Genshin
Come on,
Impact.
Tim.
Number 3, Rocket League. Number 2, League of Legends. Number 1, Fortnite. And there you have it. All right, that's going to do it for us here on The Meltdown. We appreciate all of you fine folks. I call you Meltdonians for tuning in and making us a part of your day. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time. Hope to see you there. If you have not already, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. We are so close to being there. There would be no better feeling than going into Godzilla x Kong and knowing that we've hit that mark. So please help us out if you have not already. Appreciate all of you being very active in the chat today. We'll be back tomorrow right here on The Meltdown, which has been brought to you by MyBookie. You're broadcasting live from the Culver studio.